Welcome to Average Joe Dividends. Just going to do a monthly dividend recap for October, and I am logged into my M1 account here, and I like to use M1 to invest into for my dividend growth portfolio. If you don't have a stockbroker yet, I have a link below if you want to give M1 a shot, and you get $30 and I get $30. Just have to deposit $100, and that's it. So I've been using M1 for quite a few years and really like it. I also use it for an IRA account that I have. So a traditional IRA from a previous job, but we're going to concentrate on just my dividend growth portfolio here. And within this portfolio, I have 65 different companies. You see the pie graph here. And I have an allocation between 1 and 2% for each of the companies. But what we're going to do here is I'm just going to go over the activity for the month of October. But we're going to start here on September 30th because it takes 1 day for M1 to transfer the dividends over to the account. So October 1st is when I saw this money go in. So we'll start with the first dividend, which is Digital Realty, $1.66. And Extra Space $1.50, FNF $1.95, Pepsi $3.12, ADP $1.05, Coca-Cola $3.46, Kimberly-Clark $3.75, Merck $3.95. On October 7th, I deposited $200 of my own money, and there was a buy here, 23 buys, and $223.39. The $23.39 is part of the snowball of dividends being reinvested. I don't take the dividends out in cash. I leave it in the account and always buy more shares of stock. So what M1 does is, depending on the allocation of the 1%, 2%, it's going to buy the stragglers, those shares, those companies that have not gone up as fast. It's going to buy more of those. So let's see, Johnson Johnson, Kimberly-Clark, American Tower, Digital Realty. So it's kind of all over the place buying. Pinnacle West hasn't been doing great lately, so it's buying the most of that. So those are the buys there. And the next dividend is Illinois Toolworks, $2.54, Medical Properties Trust, $3.17, American Tower, $1.05, Ecolab, 80 cents, Fifth Third, $1.79, Leggett & Platt, $4.13, Progressive, only 35 cents. Progressive, keep in mind, it pays a large dividend in the first part of the year. So in January, they're going to pay a large dividend. O'Realty is a monthly payer, $2.23. WP Carey, $3.11. Medtronic, $1.10. And here I put in $100 deposit, and there's 14 buys at 121.07, so the 21.07 is the dividends being reinvested. Let's go take a look and see what it bought. So 14 different buys here. Let's see what it bought the most of. Vista, Verizon, Kimberly-Clark. So it kind of takes the guesswork out of what I need to buy. M1 just buys kind of those, those companies that have not gone up in value as fast as the others or has dropped. So kind of buying things on sale, and I like that concept. I don't have to decide. I put my money in and it automatically buys. Next dividend up, McCormick, $1.21, and Cisco. This was the last dividend that was paid, so I could do the video, and that actually showed up in my account today for $3.26. And this morning I did a little deposit of $25 and 3 buys here. So the $5.55 is dividends being reinvested, and 3 buys here: Lockheed Martin, Intel, and Honeywell. Lockheed and Intel especially have been beaten up this week, and so it's buying those. Those are companies I still believe in for the long term, even though short term they're kind of going down. I'll just keep buying more shares. Okay, so let's go to my tracking sheet. And this tracking sheet, I have a link below if you want to use this sheet. And I created this myself. It's very simple, and I think it does everything you need to do as a dividend investor and shows everything you need to show. So we'll just go over it real quick. It shows company, ticker, The percent allocation I have at M1, you can see 1 or 2%, some are at 1%. And current share price, it's pulls it from Google Finance, real simple formula there. Number of shares I own, here's the current market value of those shares, and here's the cost basis. You can see Pinnacle West has now been doing great, so here's my loss. You can see with Yum Brands below it though, I have a gain on that one. So here's the quarterly dividend per share, and the yield if I were to buy more shares. Pinnacle West, the current yield is 5%. The yield on my cost, however, is only 4.04% because I bought it at a higher price. Well, it continues to go down. No problem, though. I'll keep buying more shares. Here is the dividend date, and I have this sorted by the dividend date from least to greatest. So it's in chronological order. And estimated dividend, this is simply just taking the dividend per share times the amount of shares. And then this is the actual dividend that paid. So my estimated dividend here is higher because I bought more shares after the X dividend date. So next time Pinnacle West pays in December, as long as they don't raise or lower the dividend, all the companies I have in my dividend portfolio though are consistent dividend payers and increase their dividends every year. So in December, approximately 2nd around that date, I'll get at least $2.84 from Pinnacle West. And let's see, let's continue with the sheet here. A couple more columns here. These, I track the dividends that have been paid to me for each of the companies. Some of them paid more. You can see I keep adding them up. This is the 5-year dividend growth rate, and this is the quarter when I can usually expect a dividend raise. So Pinnacle West is due to announce a dividend raise, and they've been increasing their dividend for 9 years. So you can see here I have a column here of the dividends. I have some of these highlighted, and that's because these are for October. And I've copied over the values from the M1 accounts of what the dividends paid and put it here, the value here. And so let's go over to the tracking sheet, second tab here. And the total for October is $45.18. That's just the total of all these added together. Get the 45.18. Go back to the tracking sheet. And on this tracking sheet, I track the portfolio value. I started doing these videos in January, so I'll be tracking it to the nearest $100. And also have a bar graph here showing how the portfolio value has grown over time. And then I also track the dividends for every month. You can see it. The first months in the quarter are pay less because most companies pay their dividends in the third month or the last month of the quarter. Go back here, and so you can see, yeah, we're in October, so this is 26% of the portfolio. November will be 26%, and then December will be the big payout because that's almost half of the total portfolio. But that's why it shows kind of lumpy, where it's small, small, big, small, small, big. So we're in one of the small months, and November will be similar. And I created this in May to track the average monthly dividend, which shows it'll show progress every single month, regardless of what the stock market is doing. You can see in September we had a nice drop and we're back up, but you can see here in the average monthly dividend it just seems to tick up, and it's mostly dependent on how much I deposit per month to have that increase. So the average monthly dividend for October has risen to $60.76, an increase of $1.39 from last month, and the month-over-month gain from September to October was 2.34%. And how I derive the average monthly dividend, you can see that it just keeps going up, is I take this adds up all of the estimated dividends for the quarter, and to get a monthly rate I just simply divide it by 3. And so I like to track this because it shows again a progress every time. So here this chart shows the dividends by quarter. You can see for the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, everything's going up. And we're only at 45.18 because we're in the first month of quarter 4. And we'll see how this plays out, how much above 173 we can be, and show this just trending upward. And the next thing I track here is the deposits. It was a light month, October. What I do is I have a baseline of $200 I'm going to put into this portfolio, and any other extra money I get from a side gig or selling things on eBay or whatever, I will put into this portfolio as well. So hopefully in November I can scrape up more money to put into this portfolio, because it seems like the more I put into it, the more my average monthly dividend keeps going up. And here, since I'm going to be tracking this not just for a few months, I'm going to be tracking this and doing these videos for years to come, so you guys can see a real dividend growth portfolio in action over time. I want to do this for at least 5 years to show how that snowball, it's going, but it starts slow, and I want to show dividends by year and how much it increases. And so far, we're at the 514.36 mark, which is not bad. So again, the dividends for October, 45.18. And one thing I want to go over really quickly is the companies here in October. They actually increased their dividends, and one of them was Fidelity National. And let me go over and show they increased their dividend per quarter from 36 cents to 40 cents, which is a nice increase. And the next one up, Illinois Toolworks, they also increased their dividend. Let's take a look here and take a look at their history. So they increased their dividend here for the quarter by 7%. They went from $1.14 to $1.22. So this just gives me more money every time, every quarter, which is nice. Of course, these gains are small because I own, a few shares, but in a couple years from now, these dividend raises every year are going to have much more impact. So let's take a look at the next one. WP Carey, this one was very modest. It was a 0.2%, but they're really consistent. It looks like they do it every quarter. They do a small increase to their dividend, but they're consistent. And I like that. And the increases are really small, but they also pay a pretty high dividend yield, over 5%. So I can accept that. That's usually how it is. The companies that pay the lower dividend are usually the ones that are growing their dividend at a higher rate. It's usually how it goes. And the ones that pay the 5+% are growing their dividends, between 1% and 2%. That's just usually how it goes. So you're either purchasing income now, or you're purchasing future income later. And I have a mixture of those. I have 65 companies in the portfolio, and I have a good mix of ones that pay less than 1% all the way up to 7, 8, 9%. So I like to have that variety in there and cover all bases. So the next one, let's see who is up. We did WP Carey, is American Tower. Let's take a look here. Let's see what they did. They went from $1.24 to $1.27, so they increased it by 3 cents. Very nice. And then next is Fifth Third. Let's see what they did. They gave us an 11.1% increase from 27 cents to 30 cents. So another nice increase. And that should do, that does it for those. So I kind of track these. 5 companies raised their dividend for the quarter. This is a little stat here. So it added 57 cents for this month in dividend income. And 83.85, that means if I were to try to add 57 cents per quarter additional to the portfolio, it's the equivalent of adding 83.85 to the portfolio. So I kind of got that for free with the raises, which is nice. So 20 dividends were paid on 9 different days. Again, 65 total companies in the portfolio. And if you're interested to see all these different companies, I know we focused on just the ones in October. See the link below, just a simple Google Sheets doc. And again, I'll go over total 4518 in October dividends. If you like this content, please click on the like button. And if you want to follow this journey, please subscribe and share this to your friends who are interested in investing in dividends. And thanks for checking out the video, and let me know what you guys are investing in. Take care.